Sherrod, host of the Sherrod Show, here live on location for our taping of the Sherrod Show here. So excited, ladies and gentlemen. We got a very power-packed show. We got some beautiful guests and a wonderful topic. And you're also going to be able to see some behind-the-scenes things of the Sherrod Show. So you make sure you keep it locked here. Some great questions and some great performances, actually. Recently, we had on the show the lovely Kayla Ray, and she's back. And she's going to be singing some polite music. Is that what she said? Polite music. So wonderful to have her back on the show. Then we also have a gentleman that can rap. See, I rap Christmas presents, but he can really, really rap. So we're so excited to have him on the show as well. And then also we have a lovely young lady who's been in the industry for many, many years. And she looks like she just started out in the industry. She's so young and beautiful. You don't want to miss her as well on the Sherrod Show. So definitely check it out. Make sure you subscribe, leave a comment as well. And we'll be right back with the Sherrod Show right after this. Pam, you made it. Good to see you, sir. How are you? Mom, come on in.
You like it?
Welcome, your mom.
Hey, how you doing? Hello. Hi, Gabby. How you doing?
All right, guys. We're going to get started. Joe.
So Sherrod, would you take pictures on a service during that? Or
Good. Oh. You want to do very quickly your intro and then I'm going to, or? Okay. Microphone coming on?
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Maybe somebody toss him too. When I say that, but I will have it.
Okay, you're not going to do that?
All right.
That's the best way to remember.
Let's just do a quick bow.
Nice to introduce you to people
prayer
here.
so we can go ahead and pray for a great show and then we'll get started. Thank you, Almighty God, for the time that we're here. Thank you for bringing all these wonderful souls here to see a great show. I pray that you be my words and thoughts. Bless it to be great. May the Spirit of love be in all of us. And we'll do it for your glory. We ask this all in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, everybody. Let's do it.
Okay, sure. Kim, you want to sit over here? Okay.
Good. Rolling.
Live from the Mark Theater in beautiful downtown North Hollywood, it's the Sherrod Show. Tonight's guest, James Darius, a rapper and content creator, actor, producer, Josie Cat, and singer-songwriter Kayla Ray. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for the one, the only, Sherrod.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Sherrod Show. Happy Saturday to everyone. How are you all doing? Everybody doing all right? Yeah. You know when everybody got paid on Friday because they're so excited today. See, they're so excited, So it's so wonderful to have everyone here on the Sherrod Show this afternoon. We have a very, very special show, ladies and gentlemen. We have two very beautiful guests and one very talented rapper stopping by on the show. You don't want to miss this. We have the lovely Josie Cat stopping by on the show. Give it up for Josie. She's actually an actress as well as a producer. She's been doing it for many, many years. You don't want to miss her and the questions I got to ask her. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we have a gentleman who is a rapper. This man can rap, he can perform. He's also a chart-topping artist, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. He's been doing it for many, many years. The man, James Madison on the Sherrod Show. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And then we have a lovely young lady we had the privilege of meeting 2 weeks ago in Hollywood. She is as beautiful as she is talented. I call her Alicia Keys, but I think she got it over, Alicia Keys, ladies and gentlemen. But she can sing. She's a heck of a performer, and she's stopping by on the Sherrod Show today. The lovely Kayla Ray. Give her a round of applause. And in my audience, it's great to have you back, Mark. How are you?
Yeah.
You know, Mark he's my producer. He's also over our production team. You know what Mark has been doing? You know what Mark has been doing?
I have no idea what Mark's doing.
Mark has been traveling to all the Chicago Cubs games. He was doing all the spring training games for the Cubs. That's where he was. So I forgive him because I'm a Cubs fan. So I forgive him. But he was traveling doing that. Welcome back, Mark. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, sir.
And then we also have Philly in the house. He's head over our production as well as on our editing. Welcome back, Philly. How you been?
All right.
And you doing all right, Joe?
Good?
Good to have you.
Good.
You know, we recently had an episode of the Sherrod Show where I had a record producer on, but then I also had a boxer. I had Michael Spinks, the boxer, on recently on the Sherrod Show, and then also we had a boxer named Anthony Peterson. Some people who may know him, they're very popular boxers. Normally, you know, Michael Spinks, he fought Mike Tyson in 1988. But then it raised a question on whether or not, what is more of a dirtier sport in a business side? Is it the music industry or is it boxing? You ever thought about that? So I did my 5 points to help you to decipher for yourself which is a dirtier sport or dirtier business. Is it boxing or is it music? Anybody want to know about that?
It's a great
Yeah.
question.
Nobody want to know about that? Does anybody want to really know about that?
Yeah.
It's brought to you by my limited edition Sherrod Show hats. Oh, Mark dropped them all over the place. But these are my limited edition Sherrod hats. You buy one today, or you can just do a donation for $25. You get one of these hats. The proceeds go to the fight for the cure for lupus.
Yeah.
So if you support it, we have them in all colors as well. All colors as well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, my 5 points. Is it the music industry that's more dirty or the boxing? Point number 1, the music industry can help you to get your career on track, right? It can help you to get your career on track if you were with the right record label. But if you don't have a hit record, you could be somewhere laying on somebody's tracks. Help me out now.
Happens.
In the boxing world, you can become the champion of the world if you know how to fight, right?
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
Am I the only one to know about boxing?
Yeah.
All right. But if you don't throw the fight, you could be lying in somebody's gutter fighting for your life.
Yep.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
Mhm.
Point number 2, in the record business, it's all about the sales and nothing else, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the record business, you have to have sales in order to make it. But if you don't make any sales, you could be sailing in the sea.
Mm-hmm.
Preach.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Point number 2, in the boxing world, if you lose one fight, you could be out on the street, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can be out on the street if you lose one fight, right?
Mhm.
But if you don't fight at all when you're scared, you could be lying up under the street. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just telling you experience. I just know.
Yeah.
Point number 3. Help me out now. You're making it tough. Like a sweatshop in China somewhere. Help me out now.
3 more, Stu.
We're getting through it now.
We're getting through it.
Point number 3. If you have a big hit in the music industry, your life can change overnight, right?
Yes.
Yep.
You can go from eating on a tree stump to owning the whole park if you have a hit record in the music industry, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a hit record in the music industry, you can find yourself digging ditches and not know what happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the boxing world, you can become the world champion and have all the women you want when you become world champ, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can have all the men you want if you become the world champ. All right, thanks, Joey. Help me with that. Point number 4, we're getting through this. Point number 4. In the music industry, you can become a celebrity and fly in fancy jets if you have a hit record, right? If you don't have a hit record, ladies and gentlemen, you can find yourself cleaning jets for a living.
Mhm.
That's
That's
true.
what it is.
It happens.
It
Yeah.
happens.
It happens.
It happens. Point number 4, ladies and gentlemen. When you are a boxer, you can wear a championship belt and walk around as proudly as you want, right?
Mhm.
Being a world
Yeah.
champ.
Absolutely.
But when you lose the championship, you may have a hard time trying to afford a belt.
Mhm.
That's
One more.
Absolutely.
One more.
And point number 5, ladies and gentlemen. And 5. They didn't get paid
This is a
yesterday.
long
I thought
class
they
point.
did.
This is
Yeah.
a long class point.
Point number 5, when you are a musical genius, the world is your oyster, right?
Mhm.
But when it's found out you're a musical dummy, now you're riding the short bus. I'm just saying.
Mhm.
And finally, point number 5 on the boxing side, when you're a boxer, you can make millions of dollars sometimes overnight. But when you lose and you're a bum, sometimes you're struggling to find a place to sleep that night. All right, that's my
Yep.
5 points. Can I get a round of applause? Ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, we're going to have the man who can rap, he can perform, he's also a chart-topping artist. You don't want to meet him, you don't want to miss him. James will be right here in the Gerard Show right after this. Come on, James, wait for you.
All right.
I thought they'd stay together, Gerard.
You thought for now. All right, get to grab the chairs and then we can.
I'll take it. Oh, well, see.
Well, they heard you loud and clear.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Cool. Perfect.
And audience, those who are watching YouTube, will you please help me out next time on my 5 points? Don't make it look like I'm out on an island somewhere. You laugh too. What's the matter with you all? All right, now I'm done with fussing. All right, ready to
Zach, can you reframe it?
I was gonna say Rocky Balboa, I didn't.
All right, ready? Here we go.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Gerard Show. I'm your host, Gerard, for a very special Saturday episode. I was born to do this with the lovely Kayla Ray on the Gerard Show. But we have a gentleman to my right. This gentleman is a rapper. He's actually a chart-topping artist. He's been doing it for many years. He is very talented, very gifted, has a very interesting story as well. The man himself, Mr. James Darius, a.k.a. DM Punch on the Gerard Show. Give it up for him. Welcome. It's an honor having you on as well. So James, tell us a little bit about how did you get into the rap game? You know, that's kind of a tough world to get into and to be successful, but you found success in it.
Well, ever since I was a kid, I loved rap music. Growing up, I loved rap music. Eminem is my protege. I listen to his music basically every day, and I realized I have a gift for rapping. Because a couple of my friends, when I was younger in school, heard me freestyle a bit, and they're like, this kid's got potential. So we picked up a music producer. I freestyled for him on the spot. He loved it. So I was like, you know what? Let me get into production, start making music. And ever since then, I stick with it. I love rap music.
So now, you started off. You kind of found out your gift before you got in school, or while you were in school. Rap battles.
When I was in school, I did some rap battles and stuff. So.
I didn't do too good with rap battles.
Did
know?
you?
No, I didn't really do too good for those, but I kind of got out of them. But they were very popular when I was a kid as well. So now, after that, you decided to make a full-time career out of it?
Yes, I mean, I love rap music. It's my heart and my soul. I could not go a day without listening to rap music and writing lyrics.
Very good. Now, when did you get your first record deal?
First record deal, I actually got an offer from Sony, by the way, which I turned down because I created my own label called DM Punch Corporations because I realized I didn't want to be tied down to a label, so I made my own. I have my own team on DM Punch Corporations. We created our own team.
Very good. So now, off of my 5 points, you think the record business is more corrupt or criminal than the boxing
It
game?
can be, but the most important thing is if you have good music and you have a team behind you and the team knows what they're doing and the rapper knows what they're doing and they have good lyrics and a good story and a good message, the sky's the limit. You don't need to be signed to a label to succeed. It's all about you. You yourself is going to make you succeed.
You know, it's very interesting you say that, DM Punch, because, see, for example, you know, back in the 80s, you know, you were at the mercy of your record label. They signed you, the first deal was usually a bad deal, and you had to stick with it. But now, if you have millions of subscribers on Instagram, TikTok, and things like that, you can almost write your own ticket. Is that correct?
That's exactly correct. But I mean, again, you have to really write a message that's different than everybody else. Because with all the rappers and musicians out there, you need to stand out of the crowd to be somebody.
Now, what makes you stand out from the crowd?
My music, because I was actually, in my childhood, I was bullied a bit and stuff, so I write about my past. You know, I like to write lyrics that tell a story about what I've been through. I like to write lyrics that have a message every single time. I write lyrics that are not, you know, they're clean. All of them are. And I like to come up with a message in each song related to my past and have that past message relate to people that are listening to it.
You know, it's very interesting you say that because I find the most successful rappers oftentimes are the ones that tell stories.
Storytelling.
Exactly.
Because there's too much rap music out these days, and the storytelling ones are always the ones who go viral. That's why Eminem is who he is today.
So you got bullied as a kid, huh?
I did a little bit, but we all do. It's not new. I mean, everybody does.
Is there any bullies in the house? Okay, just want to make sure because they might be an audience looking for you. No,
We're
but
all nice people.
very
We're all
good.
chill. But I mean, when we're kids, we all do that kind of stuff.
So true, so true. So now, DM, when it comes to the rap industry, you're mentioning Eminem. What are some of your other great rappers that you really enjoy? That are
I love
very
Dr.
influential?
Dre.
Dr. Dre?
Yeah.
And why so?
Because Dr. Dre had a story to tell, and that story to tell was so powerful and so impactful that he became who he is today. And you met somebody by the name of Eminem and, 50 Cent, those three rappers that work together, right? And they work together as a team. They made music together, and they all have a story to tell. Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, Eminem, they've all been through stuff, so they have something to tell and a message to relate to the people. So that's what I want to do, have a message to relate to the people that are listening to it, so that they want to listen to it again and again and again and again.
You know,
That's what it's about.
for those who just joined us, we're talking to DM Punch, or shall we say James Darius, aka DM Punch, on the Sherrod Show. We're going to be talking more about him and to him momentarily. But now, one thing I want to ask you before we'll take this on commercial break. But now, when you look at rappers, so oftentimes, like especially when I was growing up, a lot of rappers were rapping about stuff they never been through. They were just like talking about they were street and this and that, but they were from the suburbs and all these things.
Now let me tell you something about that. When they get signed to a label, the label wants them to make generic stuff that people think that are gonna like, and they actually were not the ones writing it. Somebody else did. But the problem is that rapper didn't want to do that, but they did because they were signed to a label. So it goes back to something at the end of the day is you should be your own boss. Be your own boss, your lyrics, and write stuff that has a message. You have the freedom to do that in the first place.
Very good, very good. Give me a round of applause. Too much to bust out with some rap right now, but ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to find out what's the song that Mr. James Darius, aka DM Punch, is going to be rapping to
Now
us.
that is called Just Take Action. Just wrote it, and it is an a cappella song, and it's called Just Take Action.
We can't wait to hear it. We'll be right back right after this. When did you write it?
Last night.
Very good. Okay. Very good. Very good. How's it going over there, Gabrielle? Good, good. All right. Here. We go. All right. All right, Walter, you can go.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any water?
Can we get some water,
Water?
Joe, by chance?
Please.
There's a
Pour some
fountain.
water?
Can I go grab
Yeah,
some?
yeah,
There should be a
Or
bottle
we're not
somewhere.
ro- we're not rolling.
No, we're not rolling. Go for it.
I would.
Yeah, you do.
Hello, hello.
You need any nutrition drink?
We're just now taking a commercial break, and we'll be right back after this. Do we have comments? What do you think about the first guest on the show? And what do you think about, well, when he starts rapping, what do you think is gonna, what are your take or what are your feelings about his rap? He's a positive rapper, you know? That's good. And then I might come right behind him and do some rapping. I might, you know, just let me know. Either you vote me on or vote me off. Tell me which one it is. How you doing over there, Walker?
Fantastic. You know the vibes.
Very good.
You know, I go to a lot of charity events in Hollywood because I'm also an Eagle Scout, by the way. Because an Eagle Scout has to do, I think, 100 volunteer hours thinking within an Eagle project. I've been to Compton initiatives, I've helped rebuild homes. Very genuine.
Oh.
Where did I do it?
I don't know where it was. So yeah, I am an Eagle Scout. Yeah.
So you do volunteer work and things like that?
Yes.
We'll talk about that.
Yes, let's please do that, because I'm also, one of my most important people in my life is gone. Because, you know, you can do anything you want in life, you have to just believe in yourself and give grace, you know, because you give grace and you have a positive mindset every day, you attract positive things.
You have an album now?
What's going on with my friends?
Say you made it.
It should be in about a month and a half or so.
What are we waiting on?
A lot of money.
I got you next week. Give me a couple days, get to me.
You gonna
Write you a check, but you gotta hold it for like 360 days.
So you're gonna go to town to this money.
Yeah,
You gonna have a job.
no. You know what, sometimes you just gotta walk into places and just ask what you want.
You need a getaway driver? I'm
Yeah.
best in business.
Yeah.
This guy can vouch for me. I have never driven a getaway car.
Oh,
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Too easy. Said you need a getaway driver, you done it.
Welcome back, we're ready.
We live? Okay. Ready? Quiet on set.
Maybe somebody's here that wants.
Maybe it's Billy. How are you,
You
Mom?
are the best.
Oh, no, you are making
Yes,
the
you
best.
are
I'm
the
just
That's why the
here
best.
doing my thing.
It's doing really good.
You all make me feel good, but you all are great, I'm telling you. Even though they didn't help me out in the 5-point show. That was rough, man. I was in the middle. I was expecting you, Joe. I just
I'm
knew
sorry.
you were gonna be there.
I would
Joe.
say, I would say yes.
No, but I heard Caleb way back there. Thank you.
I got your back.
I knew. I knew.
They were thinking about it. There's a lot to think about, you know?
All right.
I'm in the.
Ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Read your phone off.
Oh, on the lyrics wrong.
Oh, well, are you gonna read the lyrics in this segment or perform?
Performing, yeah.
You're gonna
You're gonna perform later.
Yeah, later, not now.
Oh, not now. Oh,
Yeah.
got it.
Sorry. It's just like then I got this bright light on your face and and reflecting in your glasses, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right, here we go.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sherrod Show. I'm your host, Sherrod, for our Saturday conversation with the man himself, Mr. James Darius, aka DM Punch, from the Sherrod Show. We're kind of talking off camera. So you're actually an Eagle Scout, is that correct?
Yes, I am. I've done a lot of volunteer hours in my community, actually 100 of them when I did an Eagle project. I just find it really important for everybody to get back to their community and stand up for important causes, because with all that's going on in the world right now, it's important to give a helping hand. Ever since I was a kid, I knew that I've always been the kind of person who's very generous and grateful to God, because every single day I wake up, I give grace to God because He's a very important person in my life.
Amen. Very good. Give him a round of applause. Very
Yeah.
good. Now, name at least your top 5 rappers. I know you mentioned Eminem, you mentioned Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, one of them as well?
50 Cent, Tupac, and Notorious B.I.G.
Now, how does one survive? Most of them feel like they basically, and for lack of a better word, they got to sell their soul to be able to make it. In other words, talk about terrible things, talk about shooting people, degrade women and things like that. I don't agree with that. But my thing is, you don't do that.
You know what it is? They wanted to follow the crowd and be like everybody else. But the problem is when there's so much people in the crowd and everybody wants to be like everybody else, it's not going to work that way. You got to be different. You got to be the kind of person who stands out and does things totally different. So that's why, as a rapper myself, when I speak messages, I speak stuff that I've been through and I keep them clean. Because a lot of these rap songs, they all sound the same. And they're only on the radio because somebody paid to put it on there or whatever. And it's all got the same profane language, and that's not what rap music is. I mean, back in the day, MC Hammer and stuff, they didn't do all that.
Very much so. Now, an amazing thing about it is that you've managed to garner hundreds of thousands of followers, and you're an influencer just off of your positive. Yes, off of your positiveness and things like that. So, what's the message to people who are watching who feel like, you know what, I'm just going to go out there and be something I'm not to make it? What is your message?
I gotta tell people that if you really love what you're doing, I don't know whether you're a musician, model, actor, influencer, producer, or whatever, you just gotta love what you're doing. You gotta believe in yourself. You gotta tell yourself that I'm good at what I do, because the number one person that's gonna get yourself to succeed is yourself. And you don't need to worry too much about what other people think, because when you do, you put yourself in a zone where you're always wondering, what are people going to think of me when I step outside? But to succeed, you can't do that. You got to step outside and say, I'm that person, I'm that guy. You know what I mean? You got to believe in yourself.
Very good. So, my last question to you is, so when the big money comes, if it hasn't come already, what is going to keep you from not selling your soul out?
You can't sell your soul, because when you do, it's a really dark place. And you can't do that. You can't sell your soul. You got to have your soul given to God and give grace to God. Because when you give grace to God and you give things to Him, miraculous things happen. How do you think people end up in the Hall of Fame and get stars on the Walk of Fame?
Amen.
It doesn't just happen out of nowhere.
Take those shades off. He might be a preacher. So now, where can people who are watching, I know they're watching some are live, some on Facebook, YouTube, and they want to reach out to you and connect with you, where can they reach out to you?
So you can reach out to me on Instagram at DM_punch. I also have a Facebook page, same thing. I got a YouTube, I got a Twitter, I got a SoundCloud. One of my biggest following is on my DRT Global Top 150 radio charted artist platform, where you could look up Velar Kamingo Anahora, which were charted twice on the radio. So those are all my platforms. You can subscribe there, give me a follow, give me a shout out, send me a DM, whatever you like.
Yeah.
We thank you. Give him a round of applause. Show. He will be back later to rap and show us what he can really do on the talent side, so we can't wait to have him back on the show.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to have the lovely Josie Cat on the Sherrod Show. She's going to be meowing all over the place. I'm Sherrod. We'll be right back right after this.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to
Great. Great. All right, we're good.
Right here.
Sorry. Interview and then we'll get your.
Say what?
No, not right now. I mean, the live ones are.
No, and you know that's kind of, the industry is kind of moving in that direction. We're using more phones
You're
more.
up. Are you okay if I mic you up? Or
Yeah. I mean, iPhones in particular, they have great cameras. So,
All right, sir.
They've been used
You
to
good?
make
You can hop
budget
on?
movies. Yeah.
This way. Or this way.
It's
very
good
long.
tonight.
You did great.
I just when I was about to laugh, I smacked my face. I was going,
Taking different angles.
Hope y'all enjoyed that. I want to see your comments and questions. For the last guest we had on the show, the man himself, Mr. James Darius, aka DM Punch, ladies and gentlemen. So your comments on that as well. Let me know. We'd love to know your feedback on it. I hope you enjoyed the show as well. And then make sure you pick up one of those limited edition Sherrod hats. You don't want to miss it. If you're not cool now, you'll be definitely cool when you put that on. Welcome, young lady. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for having me.
Very much so. So you have a pretty extensive career. You know, what you've been doing. You're an actress, you're a producer, you work with some great people. So I'm very impressed.
Well, thank you very much.
We definitely want to talk about your story as well.
Living so.
We're going to talk about many people.
Ready?
do that. Yes, sir.
Let's rock and roll.
thank you so much.
So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sherrod Show.
Let's stop it. Let's try that again. Let's
Yeah.
get a little bit more from everybody. Everybody, I want this big. I want it to sound like 100 people are already in here. All right, here we go. Ready?
To the Sherrod Show. I'm your host, Sherrod, for our beautiful time we're having on a Saturday. Did you enjoy our last guest, Mr. DM?
Yeah!
My goodness, we can't wait. He's going to be back later on the show to show off his rap skills as well. The man really loved Jesus, and he's quite prominent on his beliefs, so excited for this gentleman with some great words of advice. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this beautiful young lady to my right has traveled all over the world. She's actually an actress, a producer. She's worked with some of the biggest names and starred in some of the biggest feature films as well. First time on the Sherrod Show, the lovely Josie Cat on the Sherrod Show. Welcome, young lady. It's an honor having you on, young lady. You've been around for many years, but you don't look it at all. Tell us a little bit about your start. When did you get started in the acting industry, and when did you know that you wanted to become an actress?
Well, I was born here in North Hollywood, and my family, I come from a family of musicians, and my grandparents owned the Hollywood Professional School, which was a school where celebrities at the time, like the Mouseketeers, Annette Funicello, all the old-timey actors, when they were hired by the studios, they didn't have time to go to school. So my grandmother put together the school, the Hollywood Professional School, and that way they could have academics. So it was basically a private school.
No, that was right here in the Valley?
No, it was actually in Hollywood, Hollywood and Western. And so I've always been around the industry, and when I was little, I was in pageants and things of that nature, and I wanted to be an actress so bad. I would, take my brush and, my hairbrush and pretend like I'm accepting it as an award.
So now, when you think about acting, like who was one of your biggest inspirations as an actress or an actor on television?
Oh, I would have to go back to when I was a kid. I loved all the old-timey actors like Betty Davis and Marilyn Monroe and all the glamorous, 50s actors. And then, I loved, when I was growing up, I loved Charlie's Angels. And I used to pretend like I was a Charlie's Angel, as a little girl.
It's amazing because for me, it seemed like some of the best shows came like in the 70s and 80s. For me, I'm a Rockford. I'm a James Garner, Rockford Files kind of person. And then I talk to my executive producer a lot of times. He's a big Rifleman fan. Right, Joe? We love Rifleman.
Jump downers.
Exactly.
Can't
So
beat it.
It's very good as well. Now, you share the same sentiment, as well?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
So now, when did you get your big shot?
Probably when I was a teenager. I was on a show called The Bronx Zoo with Ed Asner. It was out of Paramount Studios, and I played one of the teenage students. I was a punk rocker at the time. I had a big mohawk, so I was one of the troubled teenagers, which wasn't too far from my real life back then, because I was a pretty naughty little teenager back in my day.
You were a rebellious type?
Very.
Yeah. I
Tattoos on the head and mohawk up to here, and I was, a little street kid back in the day.
So that was a very easy role for you to do, huh?
Yeah, it wasn't too far from the truth.
But now one thing that's interesting, Josie, is that you come to you're born and raised here, right? But there's a statistic that says 30,000 people a month move out to LA to become a movie star. But the next month there's like 30 to 40,000 that have to get sent back because they can't make it. And there's many songs written about it, like Midnight Train to Georgia. It never rains in Southern California, et cetera, et cetera. So what do you think actors or producers are doing wrong to come out here, aspiring actors and actresses? Or do you feel it's just more people coming out than there are roles to fill?
Definitely more people coming out than there are roles. It's oversaturated, just like any creative industry. I spent 20-something years in the music industry, so that was tough as well. And I always, I have a lot of friends on social media that I grew up, with, and they see that, that I'm active in the entertainment industry, and I'll have them reach out to me and say, oh, I have like a little niece or a nephew, what's the advice? And I always say get involved, volunteer. Volunteer, volunteer, volunteer. Get involved with the and that could go for pretty much anything, any industry. Getting out there and networking and meeting people, and if you're of service, then people remember. So that's the most important thing.
So if people have more of an attitude of gratitude, there's an easier way
Oh,
to-
definitely.
That's interesting.
I
you
think
say
that's
that.
one of the most important things. Attitude of gratitude is one of my favorite sayings. If you wake up in the morning and think of 5 things you're grateful for, and that's always like a beautiful way to start your day, because we're very fortunate, all of us here. We have a roof over our head. We have, clothing. We're obviously all fed well, and a lot of people don't have that. I've been working over the last 7 years on a passion project. It's a documentary on expats, and an expat as a person that moves from one country that they're born to another to live at. And I spent the last 7 years traveling around, and I just came back this year from Africa. I have a high school friend that married a African woman, so I spent a month in Uganda, and I got to know the people there, and he's a minister and he's opening up churches, so he's just doing beautiful work there, and seeing like the little kids who are now having an opportunity to go to school, and for them that's very important, because we don't realize in a lot of the countries, school is a privilege.
So it was a very humbling trip.
Very humbling. Most of the trips have been humbling. I started out this project down in Costa Rica, and I had quit a job that was toxic. So I had some time off, and I was down there, and I just kept extending my trip, and I became friends with people who were living down there from other countries.
Now, how long did you stay in Costa Rica?
I was down there for 6 months.
Now, how long was your travels period abroad?
It's been since 2018. I have been traveling. It's expensive, so I come back and I work. Africa was the last country I went to, but I started with Costa Rica, and I was down there for 6 months. And while I was there, I was volunteering and working at the Jaguar Rescue Center with the animals, which is a passion of mine, working with wildlife. And that's when I heard all the fun stories of people when they left their job and they decided that they were going to be like either a digital nomad and live down in the jungle, and they had such crazy stories about like waking up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom and going to sit on the toilet, and there'd be like a snake wrapped up inside the toilet.
Okay, on that note, we're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to find out what's the craziest thing she saw overseas. We'll be right back right after this.
Great.
Very good. We're going to go back in.
You still got a few minutes. That segment was just pushing the limits.
How's everybody doing in YouTube and Facebook land?
Good.
Oh, we are live.
On YouTube and Facebook. This is going to air on television next week.
Ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We're going back in.
Okay, here we go.
I'm your host, Sherrod, for our Saturday conversation with the lovely Josie Cat on the Sherrod Show, speaking about her trips abroad as well as her experiences in the acting industry as well. Now, really quick, you were mentioning something before we went on commercial break. We'll have a couple more minutes left, but something about a snake being wrapped around the toilet when you're trying to use it. Did that ever happen to you?
No, no.
What was
I don't mind snakes though. I actually like snakes. I've owned a couple snakes
Really?
myself. Yeah.
Now, what's the craziest thing you've seen overseas?
The craziest thing I've seen. Wow. I would have to say in Dubai, I was with one of the photographers that I met online, and we were going to do a photo shoot out in the middle of the desert, and I found all of these bones. I just bones right in the middle of the desert.
Human bones?
Well, I thought they were, and he told me that they were camel bones. All the trips, they all have their different interesting things that happen. I got when I was in Thailand, I got stuck in the middle of a tsunami, which was kind of crazy. So that,
Now, which place you enjoyed the most out of all of them? If you had to name one to recommend to people to go, what would you say?
I really loved Berlin. I loved the people there. They have a huge artistic community, which is so different from their history. I really connected with the people in Berlin. I have to say definitely Costa Rica to the heart was my favorite. That's why I didn't leave.
Very good. Now you have an incredible career. It's amazing all the things you've accomplished. There are people right now watching that really want to connect with you for future projects, or even just to be able to see your social media. So where would they be able to reach out to you, Josie?
I would say just to Google my name, Josie, Josi, Cat, with a K, K-A-T, and then you'll find all my social medias.
You know, this give this young lady a round of applause. She's been doing it. And, you know, you're still doing it very well. Do you have anything upcoming?
Yes. Well, like I told you, I have my documentary. It's called How the Hell Did I Get Here? And you can find that on my website, fearleaders.net. And just Google my name, like I said, and you'll find all my film projects.
Josie, thank you so much for stopping by the
Thank you.
Sherrod Show. We really appreciate her. Give her another round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, when we come back from this brief commercial break, we're going to have the big ticket herself, the lovely Kayla Ray, stopping back on the Sherrod Show to tell us why she was born to do this. I'm Sherrod. We'll be right back.
Thank you
Great.
so much.
You might be able to answer the phone right now?
Why can you tell people are watching?
Oh,
I don't think anyone is. That's the thing. You have one person.
This figure is one of these.
It was called.
Yeah, I've done Facebook Live a few times, and no one's ever. I don't think I've ever seen anyone.
I peeped it on the outside.
Earlier I had 3,
What's the name of the theater?
but right when they stopped, they cut.
The Mark Theater? Is it the Mark Theater?
I wanted to try Instagram Live, but it was having trouble signing in to this thing. So.
We're gonna do your rap.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna be fine with my run.
The mic, do you want the microphone? It doesn't actually work, but just if you wanted a prop.
What do you think?
Yeah, most people do, but yeah, for sure.
Because I'm gonna be holding this in my hand.
It's a great picture.
Okay, if you're gonna have, if you're already gonna have your hands full, that's not okay.
Yeah, maybe that makes it.
For
All
sure.
right, so,
Sitting down.
We're gonna do a standing up, if you're cool with that.
Sure.
Sure.
so I'll introduce him in.
Cause we can,
Yeah,
go,
well,
we can really,
it just connects to the amp, it works.
I'm just saying it won't work for this, cause it's not gonna record him to into this, so.
Oh, let me. So,
Let's see, share over there, yeah. Okay. So yeah, and then for you, just don't like be back and forth too much around across.
Sure.
I mean, I'll try to follow you if I need to as much as, but just try to
Stand
keep it,
still.
yeah, just try to keep it simple. Okay, ready?
hello back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sherrod Show. I'm your host, Sherrod. As promised, we have this gentleman here who's going to be performing a song from your upcoming album. Is that correct?
Well, I just wrote it today. I might add it to the album. This was written last night.
Very good. So I can't wait to hear it. What's the title of it?
Just take action.
Take it away.
I don't take the fade or run through storms. Put down in a box and I break that foam. When I fly, then jump. Don't measure the sky. If you wait too long, that moment is goodbye. I ride rhymes with parachutes. It's packed with belief. Every verse is a leap. Every bar's belief. Can't spell win without the end. I'm deep in the grind. Success ain't a myth. The sitcom brought a choke challenge raw. Broke limbacy, rewrote the law. Called fuel decline when it rings. Wings don't grow till you launch all things. Got notebooks with lightning bolts. I did so loud they could jolt their votes. No handouts, just race to win. I didn't wait for a sign, and I'ma just do it. I speak goals like Morse code, it's click and fire. Eyes on the crown, spine made of wire. No cape, no feel, just grind in my chest. I don't do what's next, and I run what's next. I don't pray for the stage, I pray for what's mine. To see the losses, you gotta step up and see what's blind. I talk to stars and I walk with the real. Every no in my life just taught me to feel. You ever see my struggle, a badge I display? Cause I turn all the doubt to me and replay. I don't dance with fear, I tango with faith. If I say I do it, we human in that shape. You're the beat fate, but I'm still in the ring with a pad full of thoughts could teach a king. I run this in my sneakers in outer space. The moonwalk logic, but I'm swinging on pace. Bent out like spoons at a magic show. Every rhyme's got wing and it's trained to go. I don't stop, I run to the finish line. Words break rules like the pitch of the rhyme. I'm the echo in the grind of a storm. I plant hope where the shadows bloom. They say calm, I say run this flame. I'm the answer, but they remember my name. Chessboard brain and not every thought. While they chase these trends, I design what's up. So when silence hits and the screen goes blank, just know I ain't done. And there's more to come, cause it's DM Punch. It's crazy, cause they only support you when you're at the top. So what you gotta do is you gotta step back up, and you can't keep doubting yourself. You gotta believe in yourself. That's the number one thing. That's why you gotta do your best and say, I can do it. And just take action.
Yeah!
As well as on Twitter and all his social media handles.
Instagram, all that stuff. DM_punch. Can find me all over the internet.
Now we see he got a punch to his rap. Very good.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we come back to lovely Kayla Ray. Right after this.
Great job.
I got one.
Come on, Kayla, come on down.
What I ask is you do full shots and he does medium shots.
Oh,
And then you're gonna alternate when you edit.
These are live.
So it's only one camera that's filming. Oh, that's the only camera. Yeah, and then he's moving it so it looks like there's movement in
So
it.
what do you do with this?
They're just live.
This is broadcasting like on Facebook. This one's on YouTube.
Ah, that's Facebook, that's YouTube.
Yeah.
And that is what?
He's filming it to edit.
Filming it to edit.
Yeah.
Let's take a look and see if it's cool. Nice. Okay.
How you doing, young lady?
I'm doing good.
Enjoying the show?
Yeah, this is great.
I'm not gonna have you.
Did I break it?
Oh no, just sorry, I pushed down on there. You go. Yep. Yeah.
Oh, look at those shoes. Thank you, the little fuzzy. Hello.
Were you streaming the show right here?
I was letting you know, yeah.
Not bad. All right.
On Instagram.
Ready?
All right.
Here we go. Quiet on set.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sherrod Show. I'm your host, Sherrod, having a wonderful, wonderful time this Saturday afternoon. We just had DM Punch doing his thing. Man, my goodness, that kid can rap. Give him a round of applause. Make sure to stay tuned and keep it locked here on the Sherrod Show for when his album comes out. We may even do a release party here at the show. You never know. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, when we come back, we're here. No.
We in, bro. We in.
Is all the way from Colorado. She is doing big things in the industry. She was recently on the show 2 weeks ago, and now she's back. She's here to talk about how she was born to do this, ladies and gentlemen. The lovely Kayla Ray. Welcome back to the show. How are you, young lady? Awesome pleasure to have you on. It's awesome having you on. Really, thank you for you being here again. You know, your recent episode is now playing on the Pure Essence Television Network for today's and tomorrow's woman. It was a fabulous time we had.
That was a great time.
Yes, Curtis Hadley did a wonderful thing in Hollywood. And now you're here. What have you been up to lately?
Honestly, just getting ready for new music to come out. I'm either in the studio, in the gym, or braiding hair. I like to braid hair too. But yeah, just getting ready for all my new music to drop. I have an EP coming out of about 8 or 9 songs, and it's kind of like a heartbreak love story. So usually, when I have a project coming out, I'm very much just like in that world, and so as healed as I'd like to think I am from the relationship, I'm still kind of just like surrounded with it because all of the music and the content and everything to shoot it. So I'm just in my own little world right now, getting ready to share it with everybody.
So now, what inspired you to become an artist? You found that early in life you can get down?
Yeah, real early. Honestly, my mom, she listened to so much good music growing up, and I just was always running around the house singing, you know, performing. Just like Josie, I would have my hair brushed and I'm just like in the mirror. I would line all my stuffed animals up on my bed and I'd make them listen to me like perform. And one day my mom was just like, wow, you have a really pretty voice. And I'm all, really? And she goes, yeah. And so she really encouraged that in me. Shout out to my mom, I love her so much. She's been such a huge support on my journey, and I grew up singing in church. So I honestly just think it was God-given, and when I started writing songs and sharing with people, that's when I realized that what I have is just bigger than me, you know, and I love to do it. I love to entertain, so.
So now, who are some of your inspiration singers that got you going to say, wow, you know, I can really do this like that?
I loved Whitney Houston growing up, Christina Aguilera, Aaliyah, Usher, Prince, Michael Jackson, just all the goats.
Oh,
really,
the goats.
yeah.
My goodness.
All the goats.
So now, I did my 5 points. I was speaking about the music industry as opposed to the boxing industry. Do you find out the music industry to kind of be kind of gritty and rough to navigate?
It is. I think like any industry that, I think any entertainment, really any industry where you have to be good at what you do, it's a little gritty because there's a lot of people that want it really bad, and some people want it so bad that they don't really care, you know, how they get there, who they hurt, or what they do. And I think especially in the music industry, in LA specifically, you can run into a lot of just different types of energies and people that you're not really sure what they want from you or why they want you around. So you have to be discerning, but I think it's what you make it. Like I think who you surround yourself with and your reason for doing it really matters. I think if you're in it for very selfish and opportunistic reasons, then that's the kind of people you're gonna find yourself around. But if you have a good heart and your intentions are good, then I believe that that's the kind of thing that follows you. So.
Give a round of applause. Colorado, correct?
Yeah.
So does Colorado have much of a music scene?
It's growing. Yeah, it's growing. That's really where I mean, Denver specifically, I grew up in Colorado Springs, but Denver specifically was where first time I got on the radio, the first time I did like a big stadium show. So a lot of doors open for me in Colorado, but there's just not enough of an industry there yet that I felt to like take me up. So I felt like I hit a ceiling there, which is why I'm now here in LA, but it's growing out there. There's a lot of talent for sure.
Very good. Now, when it comes down to the music industry, when did you know that you were going to do this? When did that hit you?
I don't know. I kind of just been, I was like delusional as a kid. Like I just knew. I was like, somebody's gonna want to hear what I have to say. But I think honestly, I felt it like in my spirit and my heart when I was 13, and a good friend of mine I used to record in his closet in his bedroom. He like set up his own little makeshift recording studio, and it was my first time ever recording a song, and he was like, what do you want to write about? And I was like, you know, I want to write a song to my mom. And so it was like Mother's Day coming up, so I just made a song. I don't even know how it went. I'm pretty sure I was just telling her how much I loved her. And I burned it to a little CD and I gave it to her. And the first time I played it for her, she just like cried her eyes out. And every time, like, she would go to work or wherever, she would pop it in her car and play it for people, like, look at what my daughter did, look at what I did. So it just made me believe in myself. It made me like confident. I was like, dang, if she thinks I'm good, then I'm just gonna do it. So I really owe everything to my mom because she made me believe that I could do anything.
What's your message to your mom? Look at the camera. Your message to your mom.
Mom, I love you. You're my biggest supporter. You're my biggest motivation. You've given me everything in life to be successful, to be great, and I just can't wait to give that back to you as much as you've given me. So I love you.
Give her a round of applause.
She's amazing. She raised 5 of us by herself.
Really?
Yeah, she was a single mom, and I think it's hard enough raising kids as it is with 2 parents or even just 1 kid by yourself, but somehow she did it with 5 of us, no help. So I just always looked at her as a really determined woman. That's where I feel like I get my hustle from.
Superwoman.
And yeah,
Very
superwoman. It's funny you say that actually.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Well, awesome
Yeah.
sauce. Now, what is the song you're gonna sing for us?
It's called Superwoman.
Oh, wow. Not rehearsed, ladies and gentlemen. Very good, very good. So now we're gonna take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're gonna have a lovely Kayla Ray singing Superwoman.
I actually have 2 that I was going down my head, and when you said that, I was like,
Still got him. I think. Or
I think so.
her?
Yeah.
It's your name with an E at the end.
It's a girl. Yeah.
Ready? All right, here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, to the Sherrod Show. I'm your host, Sherrod, having a fabulous time, ladies and gentlemen. You know, we have so many talented people stop by the show. It's unbelievable, and it's going to keep on rolling. The lovely Kayla Ray singing Superwoman.
who's there to save Superwoman? Wish I lost my powers and I was just anyone. I wish I was a little girl, ain't have to save the world, protect her from the sky when I'm afraid to fly. I'm my own kryptonite. Who's there to save Superwoman? Wish I lost my powers and I was just any woman. I wish I was a little girl, ain't have to save the world, protected from the sky when I'm afraid to fly. I'm my own kryptonite. Thank you. Keyboard player and everything here to give me the whole.
Is there a keyboard in the house? Excellent job,
Oh,
young lady. Mike, did we enjoy it?
Right.
I was just getting into it and then you stopped.
I know.
Unbelievable. Where can they purchase your music, young lady? Where can they be able to get an album? Where can they?
So Superwoman isn't out yet, but everything that I do have out is on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. You just search Kayla Ray, that's R-A-E, and you can find me pretty much everywhere.
If she isn't going any places now, she will be tomorrow. You will see her everywhere winning Grammys and all that. What a talented young lady. Absolutely incredible job. We really appreciate you stopping by the Sherrod Show. Ladies and gentlemen, when we come back from this commercial break, we got my final thoughts right after this.
Yeah, Sherrod, you made a mistake telling her 30 seconds, bro. You want to do your final thoughts standing up?
Yes.
That line about the spine.
Great job.
You did great.
Wow, you
I made a lot of noise for you.
You live in Colorado?
I live here now,
Oh.
from Colorado.
I have a friend, he's a producer down there, we shoot a lot of films.
What's his name?
Jimmy Drain, Under Night,
All right.
He just had a movie come out last year, a lot of it shot down there in Colorado, and it was one of Tony Collins' final films.
Wow, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you, all. Did you enjoy that performance? Oh my goodness, that was absolutely incredible.
Yes.
So praise you all responding, giving your thumbs up on the show today. This was a wonderful, wonderful thing. You know, enjoying both of you all. I just got my Facebook going here and then I got my YouTube. But really appreciate you all. Make sure you subscribe, donate to the Sherrod Show on Cash App or Zealous. It's right there in the link. It costs money to do this show, ladies and gentlemen. And then thank you, Gabriella, for not getting the belly. You know, I really appreciate it.
Let's do it real quick.
Alright.
Quiet on
Quiet
set.
set, please.
Final remarks. High energy. Let's rock and roll.
One last.
Yeah.
And welcome back. Wait.
Let's try it again. All right, ready? Hold on. Back up a half step. For me, please. Great.
Ladies and gentlemen, to the Sherrod Show. I'm your host, Sherrod. Had a fabulous, fabulous time. Did we have a wonderful time, ladies and
Yeah!
gentlemen? So talented. We had James Darius, aka DM Punch. Did you see his performance?
Yeah.
This boy can really get down. Had a wonderful time with him. And then also the stories of the lovely Josie Cat. She's doing big things. Make sure you check out her documentary coming up. How the hell did we get here? Oh my goodness. Can't wait to see that. And then we had the star of the show, the lovely Kayla Ray. Did you hear that voice?
Mm.
You hear that voice? Yeah. Look, she got it all. Ladies and gentlemen, definitely follow her. We're going to make sure she comes back on the show. All of them will actually come back on the show. She's going to do a big performance as well. And then also, we originally were supposed to have Holly Berry on the show, but she will be on the show next week. And then also, we have Little Romeo coming by. You don't want to miss that episode right here as well. Make sure everybody subscribe to the Sherrod Show on YouTube, the Pure Essence Television. And then also remember, ladies and gentlemen, the best way to get back on your feet is the mystery car payments. See you next week.
Great. Oh, geez, oh my goodness, I'm glad that made it through the whole thing without getting that.
In the live too.
You finished?
Yep.
All right. That's it. Thank you, everybody. Everybody